Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's morning musings is Dead People Portals. I'm doing a series of daily morning musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. And I wrote these a while ago, and the world has completely changed since then. So if I encounter anything that's out of date, I will give you the most recent information, and at the end, I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. I also have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Dead People Portals. Today is the 8th anniversary of a friend of mine's death. It's not the exact date, but it's the Friday before Thanksgiving. I've become more and more aware of his energy over the last month leading up to today. People's entrance and exit points, birthdays and death days, are important portals for them, and you'll feel their energy more strongly at those times. Anniversaries and holidays are also times when the veil is thinner between dimensions, so communication is easier during that time of year. I've been looking through lots of family photos as I prepare to move my 85-year-old mother from her home. I collected a few to share with my dad, and when I showed them to him, I was surprised to get a sense of history as he looked at them. To him, his parents died 15 and 30 years ago, and these photos were taken in 1969. To me, I see the beings in the picture and sense their presence, so they're still alive. I forget that when you believe someone is dead, it creates interference with them. If you don't believe in phones, you will never call anyone. But phones work, even if you can't see the phone lines or comprehend how our voices travel around the world, yet sound like we're in the same room together. Dead people are easier to talk to. There's less ego distortion on their side, but harder to hear due to our distortions of perceptions on our side. You have to hear dead people with all your senses, not just your ears. Most people aren't clairaudient anyway, so it's less likely you'll hear their voice. But they show up as feelings, thoughts, impressions, and revelations, or quirky and poignant coincidences. I've mentioned before that my dead friend keeps showing up as silver PT Cruisers because that's the color and make of the car that hit him when he was riding his bicycle. It used to really freak me out, but now I understand it's his way of showing instant joy, since death feels ecstatically joyous. Some people find it validating to write a letter to their deceased loved one and then write down what you think their response would be. Because when you read it later, you'll discover you can possibly have made that up. Holding on to grief blocks communication, so let yourself mourn when you feel like it. It clears your telepathic lines. It also helps to be in stillness or silence, because the physical realm is filled with distractions. Walking in nature is a great way to tune into higher dimensions. This time of year can really suck if you've lost someone important to you. Realize that no one is ever gone. Just because you can't see them anymore doesn't mean they're not there. Besides being comforting to you, dead people really love it when you communicate with them because it validates their existence. If you want to connect with someone who's passed, try journaling, try walking in nature, taking time to be still, or just let yourself be highly aware of quirky coincidences. Practice increases confidence. Try this for the next week and see what happens. So that's really interesting because this coming November would be the 21st anniversary of this friend of mine's death. And I still do occasionally see PT Cruisers. And I think I said on one of these morning musings that it's more rare because they're not as popular a car anymore. And right after I had said that, I saw like 3. But the thing I was thinking is I just came back from a trip with my husband, and as we were driving back, we passed a construction site, and on the side of one of the machines was DBM, which happens to be my mother's initials. And here I am reading all these blog posts about my mother, and I used to call her DBM. So coincidences like that are ways that the other side is validating or waving their hands to be acknowledged. And I was actually thinking about this the other day, is that, dead people love to be acknowledged. People stop talking to them when they die. They just love to be talked to. And if you're grieving, people have a tendency not to talk to you or to kind of stay away because they don't know how to handle your grief. Often the thing is that you just want to talk about that person. So if you can't find anybody who was willing to listen, talk directly to that person. You are not crazy. They are really there. You can really sense their presence, and it can be enormously comforting to you and them as well. So as I say at the end of all my blog posts, you try this for the next week and see what happens, because as we play with these, amazing things tend to show up. So if you like these videos, please click the like button and subscribe. And that way you're telling YouTube to share these far and wide, and it gets it out to people who really need to see this information. And you can also share it with your family and friends and on your social media. And if you'd like to have a free sample of one of of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the Skybox technique. It'll give you an expanded perspective of your life on so many different levels. And if you want some manifestation techniques, I have a self-study course, Manifesting Money and Miracles, that teaches you how to create energetic changes within that create amazing manifestations in your external world. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. There you can learn about my individual sessions where I take a look at you as consciousness and what's going on in your life today. And then I can answer any questions that you might have, whether it's about relationships, about a job, about money, if you're planning on moving, if you'd like me to talk to your deceased loved one. And it's all recorded just for you. And if you'd like to know how to navigate your life as consciousness with these consciousness techniques, Manifesting Money and Miracles is a great preparation for my coaching program where I work with you one-on-one and give you specific consciousness techniques so that you can transform your life. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you tomorrow in another Morning Musings.